should have saved this and this for now.
How you go into video mode straight away? You're talking, and then you go record.
Well, do you know what? I hadn't quite realised it was live. However, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, just as always, waiting to see if anyone comes online to this Ask an Expert number 9. Number 9. I know, it's really fantastic, but I can't believe we've been doing it for 9 weeks now.
It's been good, hasn't it?
No, I've really enjoyed it, and I really like hearing what people ask. And
it's been a really nice organic little growth as well. Because we
Hi, Sam Weller Jr.
Hello, Sam Weller Jr. But we've been tapping away, and you guys have been tapping away. It's been nice to see, and we hit 600 Instagram followers today, which is quite exciting. Bear in mind we're quite new still. What else happened this week?
Well, we've had a really interesting week, haven't we? Because Sam has decided where's my shirt, so I will answer the shirt question in a moment.
Yeah, we got sparkle instead today.
Yes. So I this week have been talking to a coffee supplier. I know, very exciting, because we are going to be bringing coffee into Baylily Beltons. Apologies, it's all gone a bit funny here as I try and do it live next to us. So bear with me. So yes, been talking to a coffee supplier, and we should be live with coffee very soon indeed in our shop.
Yeah. In our shop. And where else did you go this week? Where have you been? Where did you go yesterday, Alan?
Yes. So yesterday I went to. I knew I'd done some stuff this week. Yesterday I filmed our newest Baylily meet at the Penton Park Brewery with Guy and Kevin. One for the boys. Let me write that down. One for the boys. And basically, I sat in their brewery with them and filmed it. And we had a beer and we talked about bars and ale and all sorts of things. And it was very cool, and it is actually on our YouTube channel now, but we won't be promoting it until tomorrow. But you can go and watch it. If you subscribe to our channel and all that jazz, then you will get it first.
Equally though, so he got the beer yesterday, which if you like beer, it's fine. I don't mind a beer, but it's not really. I am going to be filming on Saturday.
You are. Who are you filming with?
Much more exciting.
Or what do they do? Don't say who it is, but who are you filming with?
It's a company that we work with for a few years with various on the event scene and stuff, and they do deck chairs and event hire, things like that. And they have just launched their own gin, craft gin. Boom!
So interestingly, I'm putting this out there because I've put this out there a few times recently. I think coffee is going to be the new gin.
I don't care. But
No. That wasn't a diss. So where like gin's had a massive burst in the past few years, I think the next few years are about coffee. When I'm wrong, please send the link to this video back to me.
I don't really care if coffee's the new gin, because ultimately I get to film on Saturday with gin, which is my favourite thing.
That is fine.
We are. So I didn't say the name. Anywhere Gin.
Anywhere Gin. I thought you were holding the name.
No, these guys get first look. It's fine.
Yeah, first look. Anyway, answering the question, where's my shirt? Sam, I thought this evening I would wear my sparkly.
I don't think you can quite get the sparkle.
Well, I can see
the light a bit more.
I can see the sparkles.
Woo-hoo!
Look at that. This was bought for me for my stag do in Las Vegas. 13 of us went. There's a picture of us all wearing white Speedos in a swimming pool. Don't find it. This was bought for me as a joke, and I've kept it and worn it ever since.
You mentioned white Speedos in Las Vegas. Would you like to tell the story about your white Speedos in Las Vegas?
Very quickly, my stag do. I said to my best man, I didn't stitch him up for his, and he said, don't worry, Alan, I won't stitch you up. Somehow in conversation, we all agreed to wear white Speedos in the swimming pool and thought this would be funny. My best man decided to swap my Speedos out for a white thong, which was kind of funny, but no man looks good naked.
Not even a pasty white English man.
Yeah, especially not a pasty white English man who's been drinking a lot of beer. Also, what happened was the thong went see-through, and as a stag do dare, I had to dance on a podium in the swimming pool. so we all got asked to leave. Yes, but I kept my sparkly jacket. Anyway, let's move on, because we haven't got a direct question, but if you have one, please feel free to ask it tonight. Anything we can help with.
Yeah, we had one from our favourite, Sylvie. Well
done.
Yes,
we did, sorry.
Sylvie didn't actually ask a question this week, but she's asked for a discussion point on either tonight or to be put on a poll kind of style on the group for this week. So we're going to do that. And she was asking quite right. And as you're all having outdoor style ceremonies and events and stuff, what are you doing about your makeup and hair? Are you going, obviously, you might be going more of a natural look, and are you doing that yourself, or are you getting a makeup artist or hairstylist in to do that for you? And if you're doing it yourself, what kind of hints and tips have you got for doing your makeup so it looks cool, quirky, wedding event styly, but not too heavy? So we will put a poll on the group, Sylvie, for this, I think, and then we can have a chat about that, a bit of a discussion point.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, because that dawned on me this morning when I put the poll in the group this morning, and I suddenly dawned on me that actually there's not just two reasons for an outdoor wedding or kind of background themes, but there are two, I think, main ones, and one is like a festival wedding, and the other one is sort of a naturalistic, sort of natural, is that a word? It is now. Natural wedding, and it's only just dawned on me.
Ethereal.
Is that the word?
Yeah, there's lots of
I can't even
words.
say that, so I'm not going to say it. I find that really interesting. And the poll this morning about what extras you're having at your wedding, I kind of really made me think
you
about
just
that.
pointed. It's really important to sort of stress a bit more that, and I put this in the post today in my admin post. Not one idea fits all outdoor weddings.
Totally.
They really don't, and I think a lot of people hear the phrase outdoor wedding, and currently the buzzword or buzz phrase is Wedfest. And I don't think all outdoor weddings are a Wedfest.
No, I think personally, I think that's stopped. I think Wedfest was last year.
It's still carrying on, but I think that there are more still traditions and sort of English country wedding style or woodland wedding, or like I say, ethereal weddings, or more themed kind of naturalistic boho. I think that's coming back in, and I don't think it all fits under the same umbrella of outside wedding must be a Wedfest. I think there are plenty of
that is
ways.
true. The wedding we did last year with the Persian rug aisle, that was definitely more of the kind of natural ethereal whatever wedding, and I can see that now. It definitely wasn't festival, so yes.
And I think your makeup can reflect that, but by no means does it have to be just naturalistic. I've been to several weddings. We've been to several weddings where actually it's very highly styled still, and it's very up there, height of fashion.
Massively. Some of the garden ones we've been to, massively.
One of the weddings we did bell dance for 2 years ago now. They had a Glasto theme, but she had 3 outfits for the entire day, and all 3 were stunning, and they weren't floaty, or they were like beaded and heavy dresses and quite strong makeup and strong hair, and she looked fantastic, and that was outside. So I don't think you can pigeonhole it into one type of...
There is that kind of, it's England, it will rain, it will be muddy, it will be XYZ. And actually, look at our countryside. We've got some of the most beautiful countryside in the world. I sound quite emotional, actually. I'm still a little ill, coming out of the cold.
If you check out the blog that I posted this week on the group as well, it's the Dorset wedding done by Ruby Love Photography, and that's basically from a country manor house overlooking, I think it might be Kimmeridge. And that is completely the opposite end of the spectrum to your Wedfest style wedding. It was very much English country garden, but with an outdoor service to die for. I don't know if you've seen the photos. Absolutely stunning. They were very lucky with their almost Ibiza type wedding and weather, really.
Yes.
So we have 3 people on, and I appreciate one of them might be you, Alan. Does anyone have any questions today? Sam Weller Jr., who happens to be my brother. Get off, Sam. Do you have anything you'd like to ask us? What's that, Alan?
Alan hates telling stories. I was telling my stag do white speedo story. Well, look, whilst in case anyone's typing, you've got to give them a second. So I borrowed this from another wedding group I'm in, and I felt this was really, really important and worth talking about, especially as we are ultimately suppliers. So someone's put, "Hi everyone, I think I've been doing this wedding thing all wrong. I've been paying everything off early so I don't have to worry about it. I've paid my photographer, the florist, the wedding singer, the suit hire, the venue deposit, but someone's just told me I'm not supposed to pay it all early because people can just run off with my money. I have receipts from them, etc., but this has panicked me." And I think that's a really, really fantastic question. And I know in our Baylily Meet series on YouTube that wasn't just another YouTube club, by the way, it's actually relevant, that the suppliers we talk to have actually kind of covered this. On the bride and groom and the couple getting married, the mother of the bride, father of the bride, etc., etc., there has to be an element of due diligence. You need to check. You should ask any supplier for whether you want to call it their health and safety pack, whether you just want to see their public liability, whether you want to see anything like that. You should ask for reviews, or you should just go and check out their Facebook reviews. And reviews on a website, if someone wasn't trustworthy, could have been added by them. But it's kind of, look, we've got to remember the untrustworthy ones are the small minority, and we have to kind of base this on the majority being good people. But you have to think about it. On Facebook, the more reviews there are, the more they're just going to be from randoms, Joe Public.
You do have to be careful with Facebook reviews as well, though. I mean, the majority of them are genuine, but please do look at take a holistic view of the entire amount. Because Kay won't mind me saying, Kay's on tonight actually. Kay has an amazing reputation as a supplier, and she has, I think, 90 odd 5-star reviews and one bad one. And that bad one, if someone was taking it as face value, could be quite detrimental. But actually, when you need to look at them all, as a sweep, is that supplier? I can't speak. What? Is that supplier reputable? Is it just a one-off? Are they getting their friends to put posts in, or is it someone who's got a bit of a bee in their bonnet about something they weren't quite happy with? Because when someone's on a mission to be in a bad mood, they can.
Well, look, the other way of looking at it is like eBay, isn't it? I mean, I think the vast majority of everyone's had one bad eBay review, but it's not going to stop you buying from that person when you see that one, and when you read it, you're for that one-off, you generally think, oh yeah, such and such probably happened. But anyway, back to the case in point about paying your suppliers, because also a lot of suppliers, small businesses, would like to be paid by backs, which is like the modern cash version, straight into the bank. So you don't get that comeback from a credit card or check. There is no real comeback from a check. I mean, you can go into your bank and they can try and cancel it within 7 days, etc. But credit card's the real one. Bear in mind now that we're not allowed to put charges on top of credit cards. I've got to use my terminology right, because you can put a booking fee in if you wanted to, or something like that, but you can't go, oh, you're paying by credit card, that's an extra 3%. I know we take credit cards, we have no issues, it's fine, it's what we do. So think about that. It's a small business, they do want backs. If you're really nervous, offer to pay by credit card. Do your due diligence, ask to see insurance, ask to see reviews, ask to see risk assessments. Okay, it's just a piece of paper, but at least this company's thought about it. How long has the company been going for? Could you go in one of the Facebook wedding groups and find someone else who's used that company? And the biggest one is wedding insurance. We've covered wedding insurance before. It's really not expensive. I don't think I know of anyone who's paid over £100.
I said that in the very first.
We've done this.
Your basic one can start at about £19 just for your basic cover. Again,
and it's aligned to your kind of overall budget, isn't it? And what you're paying for, everything.
And I will stress it again because we did cover this in one of the first Asking Experts, but it's still relevant now, and you might have missed the first one. Do check when you're getting wedding insurance. Please do check what that wedding insurance covers.
Sorry.
And as we, right?
No, I know.
You're doing very well. He's not very. As the majority of you are getting married outside, do check that they cover outdoor wedding suppliers and things like marquees, because marquee specific cover is very separate to your standard Debenhams £19 cover that you might get for a country house manor or whatever. So check what that covers, check the security of that, check if it covers suppliers that aren't turning up, so check what happens in terms of if it's just your deposit, you get that. Check everything, and that goes for any kind of terms and conditions, be it for your insurance, be it for your caterer, be it for your bell tents, be it whatever. Read those terms and conditions. We don't chuck them on the end of an email for the sake of just putting them there. They're there for you to understand exactly what you're getting.
Sorry, that's important. We just had a question.
Exactly what you're getting for that purpose, and it will tell you within those terms and conditions what the payment terms are as well. Yeah. Some might be 25% up front, remaining balance 14 days before. Some might be that you pay it after the event. You've got to realise it's a two-way street as well. You have to be able to trust in your supplier to be delivering their product at the end of it. But on the flip side, your supplier is a business, and they need to be able to trust that their customer is going to pay at the end of it as well. Because there are times when, you're all lovely people, but there will be that one couple occasionally who will try it. We wanted that sash, we're not going to pay £2,000 now because that chair sash wasn't tied nicely how we wanted it. And people do get panicked by that, and it's a two-way street. So really do check your terms and conditions, and if you've paid up front, that's not a problem, because if you've paid up front and you've signed a contract, and make sure there's a contract in place, or you've looked at it, signed the terms and conditions. Make sure
an agreement.
Anytime you do any exchange of money, make sure that there's a contract or a terms and conditions signed where you have it on paper what you're getting and why you're getting it. And if it doesn't happen, or they don't deliver to the best of their ability, we had that. We had an issue with our caterer for our wedding, and we had. No, we're not going to go into the great story, but we had an issue. However, what we had was our paperwork and our supporting evidence and what we paid to use as our levy to make sure that we came back to an arrangement at the end of it, and it was fine. And without any of that, you haven't got a leg to stand off it if things don't go the way you plan, or they don't turn up on the day.
And actually, just on a side note, that's why email's quite good at times, just because you get that full trail.
Even if you have a phone call, and
we are delving into bad things.
No. It's due diligence. Due
diligence, wedding insurance.
A lot of you, and we get that with our customers, lots of customers love to speak to people. They like to speak to a person, they don't like to think they're talking to a computer, they like to have a phone call, and they like to chat things through. That's fine, have a chat, but what I would always say, both ends of the street, then follow up with
I can hear a baby. Keep going.
Then follow up with an email at the end of it, because whatever you've had in your conversation can get lost in translation. You can get forgotten. It might have been at the beginning of the conversation, half an hour later it's been forgotten again. Get that down in an email, and then if the worst case situation happens, or 2 weeks before the wedding you say you're catering for 100 and actually it's 150, you have got that evidence in an email thread, exactly what has been said between you, and you can't go wrong on that because it's black and white. That's what I would say.
Definitely. So yes, it's just summarise that, because I think it's important. Do your due diligence. Go and visit them. If it's a marquee company, go and see them. When I was in marquees, we always invited people to come along and see other setups, etc., etc. Due diligence. Go and see them. Public liability reviews, etc., etc. Wedding insurance, no issues paying early. It's the way the world works.
Don't panic if you have to pay up front. No. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, I think that's really, and I can see us coming back to that type of question every few weeks, because it is so important. Helen Day. Hi Helen. She's asked, not strictly an outdoor question. Okay. Doesn't matter, because many things cross all indoors and outdoors. I don't know. Sorry, lost it. Yes, but still relevant. How long do those round paper lanterns take to construct? We have 48 to do. Short story. We're doing a marquee once, and one of my business partners said to the bride, "No worries, we'll do all your paper lanterns and fairy lights for you." Oh my! Included in the price, no extra cost. Oh my goodness!
The paper are you talking about the balls, or are you talking about the fluffy pompoms?
The fluffy ones. Oh my! I'd forgotten about oh my goodness! The ones where you put the lampshade
to be
style
fair,
ones.
The circular lampshade ones can take about they're fine.
No, they are fine.
They're fine. The circular.
Oh, the puffy ones. Oh.
Shush, just chill out. The circular ones.
Balls. Helen, balls.
They're easy.
They're balls or just balls to it? No, it's a joke.
Shush.
Sorry, I'm getting exciting.
The circular ones are actually quite easy because they're already pre-made. They're all concertinaed. Open it out, put the metal through, stretch it out, done. The paper pom-poms I cannot stand.
Don't buy them.
They are beautiful. They are beautiful. And they can look stunning. However, Alan's business partner Tom, he got married.
Don't mention his name.
Tom. Tom got married 2 years ago.
I don't know.
2 years ago, and
2 seconds.
they had underestimated how long their marquee was going to take to decorate, and then his partner Zoe went, Emily, I've got all of this to do, can you help me? And I went, and then I took them all away into because we went off to do some errands and stuff, and I was doing them in the car, pulling all the layers apart for about 4 hours. And I kid you not, it took me forever, and there was...
Can we do that? Can we do a video one day, like
a real time?
Yeah, on a pom-pom versus the balls.
Balls are great.
Right, balls are great. Is Helen having a marquee? Do you know
Yes,
this?
she's having a capri.
Capri marquee with linings.
No.
Okay. I was just wondering about attaching them to the roof. I can't think what the inside of a capri marquee is like.
So I think I'm going to end up putting
yes.
up anyway. I'm going to be putting up anyway with a rubber.
What, you're going to call me in to help? Yeah. Right, okay. I think that's it. Unless anyone's got any quick questions, I think we are going to wrap up for tonight. If you do, quickly chuck it up. Otherwise, I'm going to finish us off. Oh, I just pressed the button. No questions, just lurking, a smiley face. Laura, we love the lurkers. Welcome.
Can we just have a few thumbs up for the glittery jacket tonight, though, please?
No Hawaiian shirts tonight. I've brought the sparkles. Thank God we have the simple ones. We'll have them ready for you, though. We really don't mind, Helen. It's honestly.
I love it.
Emily does love it. I don't. Emily does.
That's what I live for.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's the thumbs up.
Wow, I've never seen that. We've never had that before.
Because no one's ever liked his jacket before.
I should have brought the sparkles with the thumbs. Anyway.
Alan wore this. Genuinely wore this to a wedding.
Tom's wedding.
Tom's wedding.
Right, sorry, I've been told off from the stories. I said, Tom, what's the dress code? You know, it's a wedding, but he said, mate, wear what you want. He's a very, very, very good friend of mine. And I said, you sure you're okay? I said, I'm not gonna. Wow, hearts and smiling faces. I said, I'm not going to upstage anyone. I promise, because I have my moments, but, I like to try and be different. So I wore this with...
What colour trousers? I know what colour trousers they were.
I think it was my pink trousers and my baby blue shirt. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm a confident chap. I don't know if that comes across or not. But when we walked into the pub beforehand and it was raining and everyone had Macs on and umbrellas and I'm there like this, I couldn't quite pull it off. I actually nearly went home and got changed. That's a true story. Anyway, on that note, Emily, I'd like to thank you for your time tonight.
I would love to thank you for your time.
And I'd like to thank Emily for being my wife. Thank you. Well, we haven't had a domestic today, so I'm in a good mood.
We've still got 3 hours before we go to bed.
That is true. Anyway, thank you all for coming online. Thank you for asking your questions, and absolutely can't wait for this again next week. Bye.
Bye.